Hi, Brandon here, and I'm here to show you my top gear choices for Mount Kilimanjaro. Here we go. So the first gear item I want to show you are my wool socks. So there are two different kinds. These are my light wool socks. They're just for everyday use up until summit day. Wool is important because it reduces chafing, it doesn't soak in water as much, and these heavy wool socks are nicer on summit day when it's really freaking freezing. It keeps your feet warm. Keeping your feet warm super important. You don't want cold toes, don't want frostbite. So highly recommend these wool socks. These are smart wool socks. All my gear is going to be linked in the description down below, so you can check them all out. All right, my next item is more wool. My merino wool long sleeve shirt. It's really versatile because you could use it every day. Covers your arms if you're worried about the sun, and it's really lightweight. Again, wool, great for not chafing. Love wool. I love. So my third item is my inflatable pillow, right here. It compresses down really small, so you can just like crush it up, put it in your bag, and take it out, blow it up. You know, it's right there for you. I really like inflatable pillows so that your head's not on your sleeping bag or like on rocks. There's just not a lot, and it's a really low weight item to for the amount of comfort it gives you. I'm not somebody that prioritizes a ton of comfort. I like to reduce weight when possible, but it's such a low weight item that I just consider it very well worth it. Speaking of comfort, my fourth item is noise canceling headphones, right here. So my favorites are the Sony headphones that are noise canceling. I really like those. I like the headphones just because the whole camp tends to be really close together, and you just hear snoring all day long depending on what kind of people you have in your camp. So noise canceling headphones definitely help. And if you get like a tent partner that's not super chatty or something, maybe you can load up some, a couple like TV shows on your phone or something, just to fall asleep to like an episode or something. So it makes it more convenient. And let's see. The fifth item I want to show you is my Arc'teryx light jacket. Also got an Arc'teryx down hoodie, so it's a heavier version of this. But my light jacket is my favorite because I can use it any day, and also like the other heavier clothing can be layered on top of this. And I wish you could feel how light this is. It's just as light as air almost. Like you don't notice it. It folds up really small and just shove it in your backpack. So I'm a really big fan of Arc'teryx. They're a little expensive. Their products are definitely a lot of money, but it's well worth it if you're doing like a longer expedition. Like Kilimanjaro's can be long depending on what you do. So I highly recommend the Arc'teryx. Now, sixth item. This is a bottle of ibuprofen because I don't have a bottle of Diamox with me, but I'm here to talk to you about Diamox. So Diamox is really good for high altitude. It helps you acclimatize faster. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how it works, but I know it's doctor approved for altitude, acclimatization. So I've gotten a prescription from my doctor a few times to combat altitude sickness on different mountains, and Kilimanjaro is no different. Kilimanjaro is 20,000 feet tall, so you're definitely gonna encounter altitude. I'm not gonna say issues, but you're gonna encounter the limits that altitude imposes on you. So Diamox is a good one to kind of kickstart your acclimatization process. And one thing that Diamox does is it makes you pee a lot. It makes you get up in the middle of the night and pee, makes you pee a lot more frequently when you take it. For some reason, it's like a weird side effect. So that leads right into my next item, which is a pee bottle. So pee bottles are really, really important at night when it's cold and freezing and you don't want to get out of your tent and go all the way to the bathroom. This is a good one. It's kind of gross, but you can uncompress it. So it's a compressible pee bottle. Uncompress it, pee in it, and then slap the lid back on, or and wait to throw it out. Or you could just throw it out immediately, toss it out the front of the tent. Perfectly fine. But either way, you definitely want one of these. It's way better getting used to this than getting up in the middle of the night when it's freezing out. So my next piece of gear is going to be my Timberland boots. So my Timberland hiking boots, they're not really conventional for kind of like expedition hiking, but Timberland boots are really, really tough, and that's what I like about them. So they're heavier than like your average, like your typical mountaineering gear. These are pretty heavy, but they're tough. These, I put thousands of miles on these. Probably too many miles on them to where I should probably stop wearing them. But they actually broke on the last expedition I did in South America. But I took these in to several different countries, all kinds of different climbs, and they're very, very tough. So I have other people's boots, like La Sportiva and other brands. They just end up breaking because they're not built quite as durable as Timberland. They're really nice boots and they're really light, but I value durability with my boots over anything else, just because if your boots are having issues, you're really going to have a bad time. So you want your boots to be as intact as possible. So I go for durability with that kind of thing. And Timberland, far and away, I think is the best in that department. So the next item is the Gregory Day Pack. So this backpack is nice for Kilimanjaro because you do not need a multi-day pack for Kilimanjaro, because they have porters that carry most of your stuff. So all you need is a day pack. So this Gregory is a great brand. I've had these for 5 years. I've got 2 of these. I take these everywhere. I have no issues with them at all. I no chafing. It's got plenty of space for like a day trip. I've even used this for 2-day trips before. Have had no issues. It gets packed pretty tight on a 2-day trip, but that just goes to show like how much stuff you can put in here and how reliable it is. So I'm a big fan of Gregory. The next item is another thing I don't skimp on, which is the duffel bag. I really want to go tough with these, because the last thing you want on an expedition is for your bag to just break and you lose all your stuff and you've got no way to deal with it except for duct tape or something. So I tend to go with the real deal. I went with the North Face, so obviously a pretty reputable brand. And I've taken this thing several places, have had no tears, nothing, and you can tell like the build is really rugged. So I highly recommend the North Face. So this concludes my Kilimanjaro gear list video. And if you have any questions or comments, just put them down, comment below, give me a like, subscribe. My gear list will be in the description if you're curious about like Amazon links or other kind of store links for the items that I mentioned. But this is just my personal recommendation for Kilimanjaro. So have fun hiking.